Welcome to today's class. Let's explore an important turning point in Indian education history, Macaulay's Minute of 1835. This is very important for the DSA exam. I'll give you a clear explanation and at the end, we will also go through practice questions. In the 1830s, the British were debating how to educate Indians. Should it be through Indian languages or English? This question became central to colonial education policy. In 1835, Thomas Babington Macaulay wrote a famous document called the Minute on Indian Education. This minute played a key role in changing Indian education forever. In this, we will explore the background, key points, impacts, and some MCQs for your preparation. The two sides of the debate, Orientalists versus Anglicists. Here, Orientalists wanted to preserve and promote Indian culture and knowledge, whereas Anglicists believed Western science, literature, and philosophy were superior. Orientalists supported education in classical Indian languages like Sanskrit, Arabic, and Persian, whereas these people argued that English education would civilize and modernize Indian society. In the 1830s, British rulers in India argued about languages of education. Some wanted to teach in Indian languages to preserve Indian culture. Others, like Macaulay, wanted to teach in English to spread Western ideas. Finally, who won it? The English supporters won, and education in India began to focus more on English subjects and languages. Key points of Macaulay's Minute: English to be medium of instruction, Indian literature considered inferior to European knowledge, and his famous quote, "A single shelf of a good European library is worth the whole native literature of India and Arabia." And what was his goal? His goal is to create a class of Indians who would be Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinions, in morals, and in intellect. Impact of the minute: led to decline of traditional education systems, promoted Western knowledge and science, created English educated elite, and finally resulted in cultural alienation from Indian roots, which means no longer felt connected to their Indian identity and started to value foreign culture more. Let's practice some MCQs now. Your first question is, what was the main purpose Macaulay envisioned for introducing English education in India? Your first option is to promote Indian traditional knowledge, to prepare Indians for self governance, to create a class that would serve as intermediaries between the British and the Indian masses, or to preserve ancient Indian languages. And your correct answer is option C, to create a class that would serve as intermediaries between the British and the Indian masses. Your next question is, which statement from Macaulay's Minute reflects a Eurocentric bias? Your options are, we must teach them in the language they understand best. A single shelf of a good European library is worth the whole native literature of India and Arabia. Education is the key to prosperity, or vernacular languages must be preserved. What is your answer? He was completely against vernacular languages must be preserved, right? And your correct answer is option B. A single shelf of a good European library is worth the whole native literature of Arabia and India. And your next question is, according to Macaulay, who should be the beneficiaries of the new education policy? Your options are the masses in villages, religious scholars and pundits, a small educated elite who could act as cultural mediators, or British officers only. And your correct option is option C, a small educated elite who could act as cultural mediators. Let's see assertion and reason type question now. Your assertion is Macaulay believed English education would civilize Indian society. And reason? He considered Indian languages and knowledge systems to be scientifically advanced and morally superior. And your options are both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Option B is both A and R true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Option C is A is false, but R is true. Option D is A is true, but R is false. Here, what is our question? Macaulay believed Indian English education would civilize Indian society. Yes, it is true. A is true. Assertion is true. But what is the reason here? Did he consider Indian languages as superior? No, he did not consider Indian languages as superior. So our correct option is option D. A is true, but R is false. Let's see a quote based question now. Your quote is we must at present do our best to form a class who may be interpreters between us and the millions whom we govern. Your question is what does this quote from Macaulay's Minute reveal about British educational intentions? Your options are a strategy to westernize a select group for administrative purposes, a plan to democratize education, an effort to preserve Indian traditions, or a commitment to mass literacy in rural India. And your answer is option A strategy to westernize a select group for administrative purpose. Macaulay's Minute truly shaped colonial education in India and still impacts our system today. And it's a key topic for all teaching exams. Comment below your topic request. Thank you for watching. Happy learning!